Hello, YouTubers. Hello, world. Another Alex Belfield video, no less. So what's he facing? There may be trouble ahead. Sounds like a song. No, I'm not going to sing for you. I couldn't sing for Toffee. In fact, my backside is more in tune than my mouth. So back at Belfield, forget this submission for permission to appeal, because he's not appealing. Remember that. He's not appealing. He's requesting permission to appeal. So he's going to serve 2 years, 9 months. Doesn't matter what he does, what anybody else does, unless he's granted leave to appeal and they increase his sentence. He's going to serve 2 years, 9 months. He's done 7 weeks. He's still got a fair way to go. And any breach of his licence, when he comes out, oh boy. I mean, the kid's in a whole world of trouble. He just doesn't see it yet. I don't think he's got the right people around him, or maybe arrogantly he's deciding that he's the smartest man in the room and he knows what he's doing. Well, inside that will sort him out, because there's even smarter people in the big house, and he's going to come face to face with them. So his case, his criminal case, was brought by the Crown, and how that works is the police, who are the evidence gatherers, will have submitted the case to the Crown Prosecution Service for them to look at, and they decide whether the case has merit, whether if it goes to court it will be successful, because they don't want to waste the court's time. So it goes to the CPS first for their evaluation, and they obviously decided that it had merit, it could go to court, and that it would be successful. That's how it ended up in court. But stupidly, it went, for Alex certainly, it went to the magistrates' court, and the magistrates went, no, this is a little bit too big for us, so we're going to send it up to the Crown Court for them to sit and decide. Now, I'm a ninja. Genuinely, I've trained in a martial art called ninjutsu. I have certificates and qualifications to say that technically I'm a ninja. And my ninja teacher once said to me, he said, Adrian, if a man doesn't know himself by the time he's 40 years old, he's lost. Now, Alex is 42 and had gone through life just doing what he always did and got away with it because nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew the whole picture. Well, the court found it and found him guilty. So I believe that any man that doesn't know himself by the time he's turned 40 years old, he's lost. I'll let that land with you. Now, trouble ahead? Oh, yes, sirree. He's got 2 defamation cases on the horizon. One of them, civil. Well, sorry, both of them are civil. I wanted to compare the criminal to the civil. Now, in criminal law, it's beyond reasonable doubt. That's the proof. It has to be beyond reasonable doubt for a guilty verdict. But in the civil law, civil courts, it's in all probability. The onus is less than a criminal court. So Jeremy Vine in the High Court of Justice, before Mr. Justice Nicklin, Mark Henderson, instructed by Henry Brandman and co. So let me tell you what I think's gone on. As the mud settles, as the water's clear, we get a better idea and a better vision of what's gone on. So the criminal court, he decided, Alex Belfield, the convicted stalker, he would take his chance in the criminal court and defend himself. He told the court barefacedly, I've got no money. That's why the judge said to him he had to appoint a barrister and told him to get legal representation for the sentencing day because he was going to the big house. So DC Percival, the second one, and the Police Federation, they're suing for 100 grand. So in the civil courts, it's easier to prove guilt than it is in the criminal courts. And I think both cases, Alex will lose them. And as I've repeated, straw man is no defence. That's where the defendant will go, okay, I'm guilty, but I've got no money. He tried that in the criminal court And somebody in the civil court needs to go, well, let's have a look at your bank accounts. Let's have a look at what assets you have. Because anybody can be at it and tell the court, oh, no, Your Honour, I've not got a penny. I've not got a pot to pee in. Honest, Your Honour. So there's 2 defamation cases coming, which I believe he's going to lose. I'm hoping for Alex's sake that he isn't allowed to appeal his sentence, because there's every chance that he is going to end up with a bigger sentence. So let's get to the trouble ahead. What do you think that's going to be? These fraud allegations are not going to go away, are they? So let me give you the definition of fraud under UK law. Fraud: making a dishonest representation for your own advantage or cause another a loss. That's from the Crown Prosecution website. Now, the Fraud Act, the one that would be worked to, came into force January 2007. And Section 1 of that Fraud Act, fraud by false representation, Section 2. Remember, I'm suing the BBC. I'm suing Nottinghamshire Police. Freedom of speech. Give me your money. Just £1. I need your help. But more importantly, the money will be refunded. So in the last video I said to you, why did they sanitize the Voice of Reason? Because those videos were on the Voice of Reason. So he's going to go to court and say, oh, no, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. I have a feeling somebody somewhere will have downloaded the videos and they will be used somewhere as evidence. In each fraud case, a defendant's conduct must be dishonest. And also, his or her intention must be to make a gain or cause a loss or risk of a loss to another. And here's an interesting point that is on the CPS website. No gain or loss needs to actually have been made. Maximum sentence for fraud is 10 years. And I would suggest and hazard a guess that him saying, I'm suing the BBC, and then I'm not suing the BBC, and I'm suing Nottinghamshire Police, and then actually never suing Nottinghamshire Police, and then giving the money away to charity. I'll give you the definition of fraud again under UK law. Making a dishonest representation for your own advantage or cause another a loss. So there's all these people that donated the money and he didn't use it for the purpose he was representing. A dishonest representation. So those fraud allegations are not going to go away. I said there's going to be trouble ahead for Alex. Everybody recognises his beloved Las Vegas. He's never been away from the place. Well, he's never going to go again. Because it is a criminal offence under US law not to declare criminal history. Officials will literally send an individual back. So if Alex lands in America, they'll literally go, oh, sorry, mate, you can't come in. You're a crim. They'll send him back to Blighty on the next flight at his own cost. Now, this is for anything over a 3-year sentence. And let me just make it easy for you to understand. He was sentenced to 5.5 years. He's only serving 2 years, 9 months, and then will come out on licence. But he was sentenced to 5.5 years. So no more Vegas, no more trips to America, because he has to declare it. He has to. He's got no choice. So he can either apply to the US Embassy or he can lie on the ESTA form. Either way, more painful outcomes for him and trouble ahead. And some people say, oh, Adrian, you can't say this about Alex. It's defamation. Well, let me, for your premise, let you understand this. There are two types of people that you can't defame. One, dead people. Michael Jackson, the most prolific paedophile in showbiz history. And two, criminals. He's a convicted stalker. My word's better than his, or your word's better than his. Anybody's word is better than a criminal. I'm going to ask you this question, because I still haven't come up with the answer. Whilst everyone was in lockdown over the last few years, it appears that young Alex went to America, went to Vegas, went on holiday. How could he do that? He was telling you he was anti-jibber jabber, the magic juice, and yet would have had to have had it to go to Vegas. I don't detect any principles there. But again, we've all met people who say one thing and do another. So the bravado, I think, and the reality, the painful reality, is now sinking in for Alex. It's going to take him a while to adjust to what he's experiencing. He's in a cat C, he's off suicide watch, and that's automatic. Anybody that goes into prison for the first time, or maybe repeatedly, they go on suicide watch, because it's quite a difficult acclimatization going from living out like you and I and then going into prison. Anybody that's been to prison will tell you that. I understand he's playing the piano in the chapel for the inmates. Bit of plinky plonky. Look, it's going to take him 6 months. He's going to up and down, up and down, up and down. It's emotionally, it's a pressure cooker. And the mind works in mysterious ways. As I've said before, multiple times, I just hope he gets some support to help him with that. Now, under the Rehabilitation of Offenders Act, 1974, if you're imprisoned for more than 2.5 years, and remember, he was imprisoned for 5.5, that is never spent. It stays on your file, on your record for life. In fact, in some circumstances, it stays on your file even after you're dead, on some systems. Now, Alex will always have to declare it. Always. He'll have to declare it to employers. He'll have to declare it when filling out entry visas whilst travelling. And there's the rub. Consecutive or concurrent. When the judge laid down, and the judge will have known, people that work in the legal profession all know this, he was given consecutive, not concurrent. Concurrent means running together. So he would have had 2.5 years for the first 2 stalking. If they'd run concurrent, it would have been 2.5 in total, and he would have done a year and a bit. Year and 4 months, maybe year 5 months or so. And the same with the 2 simple stalking. They would have run concurrently. It would have been much, much less. But they were consecutive because he was found guilty of 4 counts. So he got 5.5 years. That's 4 sentences running concurrently, one after another, and none of them will be spent. So the 4 counts that he was found guilty of will always remain on his record. He can't travel anywhere. Or certainly can't travel to countries that won't allow criminals in if you've had more than 2.5 years inside. All 4 guilty counts will stay on his record until after he dies. My name's Adrian Allen. Thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, and don't forget to ding the bell so that you know when another video is coming, or polls or anything that I'm going to do within the community. I'll see you in the next video.